Yeah, I mean, we're all extremely disappointed in the result. I think on the road, yeah, it's a tough place to play, but at this point, we have to get these points. And yeah, I think we all know it wasn't the performance we wanted coming here.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and go to Austin David.
Hey Carson, just right out of the gate, the pressure from Angel City was putting you a little bit under it a bit. Just throughout the game, kind of how did you adapt and deal with that pressure from Angel City?
I mean, you can see in the first half, yeah, they were pressing us, but we were playing through the press. We got our best chances in the first half. So their press, I don't think really bothered us. But I think we just have to, once we get it out wide, go 1v1 and just get numbers in the box and we have to score. So, yeah, to be fair, I don't think it was like some kind of pressure that we couldn't deal with. We were playing out and through them. So, yeah, just have to continue to try and finish our chances.
We'll go next to Theo.
Hi, Carson. Unlucky tonight. Just curious, kind of similar subject there. First off, I think you were pretty good. If anything, probably the better team. And then second half, I think you could definitely say Angel City were the better team and put you on a lot of pressure. Did you? I know it's only been a few minutes, but do you have a reason why you think that was that the second half kind of got away from you?
No, not specifically, but I think, away from home, you're already kind of under the gun. And I think there's a great crowd here. But there's really no excuses for us. And we know that as a team. We know that we just have to try and keep the ball in the back of the net and find a way to get these points. We know that we can be better as a team, but we're just focused on honestly staying together, sticking together, and finding a way moving forward.
Finally, Carson, you finally get to return home. Seems like we haven't been home in a while. Played Friday night against Gotham. Just how excited are you to get back to Inter & Co. and turn this thing around here?
Yeah, I'm so excited. We went from Kansas City, who has amazing attendance, to Angel City, who has amazing attendance. And so, yeah, we're back at home. We need fans, and yeah, we need to get 3 points, and we have to get it, and we have to get it at home. We can't let anyone come in and take points on us, especially at home.
Great, thank you, Carson. To wrap up, we are joined by head coach Seb Hines. Seb, 1-0 loss tonight. Just give us your initial thoughts following the match.
Yeah, disappointed. Wasn't good enough. We'll all hold our hands up. The Angel City team were a lot more aggressive. We create some good opportunities early on, and these are opportunities that we must take in the game, and it can have a whole different result if we take those. There was some good defending, throwing bodies on the line, but it wasn't meant to be. We ended up coming away with a 1-0 defeat, and so we'll review it. We'll get back to the drawing board and make sure that this doesn't happen again.
We'll go next to Austin David.
Hey Seb, you kind of mentioned just the early chances. We've talked about it a bunch at this point of just capitalizing on those chances created. What do you feel needs to kind of change just in terms of the finishing aspect of things?
Keeping away from the goalkeeper, not allowing the goalkeeper to make a save. I think there's been moments where we've talked about getting on frame, but when you're that close to goal, can you keep it away from the goalkeeper? Get that feeling of hitting the back of the net. I can't fault them for being in wrong position, because they're in the right positions. They're in the positions where we're asking them to be in, but then it's just that final execution to put the ball in the back of the net. And whether that's a mentality, whether that's execution of the finish, is something that we need to change.
We'll go next to...
Sorry, you mentioned the aggressiveness from Angel City. Was that something that was surprising just right out of the gate?
No, not really. They've shown that in previous games as well. I thought there was moments where we fell into their trap, and there was moments where we were able to play and switch the point of attack and progress the ball forward. So just finding that consistency. Again, from the first half to the second half, we decided to make some changes, putting Prisker on as a 9 to get that threat in behind. I think there was moments where we could have found a lot more. But yeah, it's something that we need to recognize, and it might be a game plan for most teams now to incorporate a more higher starting position and high pressing triggers.
We'll go next to Theo.
Hi Seb, unlucky tonight. Just wanted to kind of hear if there was a more information or update on the hip injury to Barbara, and then kind of supplementing that question, how big a miss was she tonight, and what do you think, the team does in her absence?
So obviously she wasn't here tonight. She wasn't available, but we moved forward. We've still got really good players here. Of course, with Barbara, she's a big miss. She's played nearly all the games last year. She played all the games leading up into this year. So yeah, I think anyone who would have Barbara in their team would be sorely missed.
Go back to Austin.
Seb, kind of started out more of a flat 4-4-2 within the shape of the game. Then, as you mentioned, you brought Priska on at half, kind of shifted to more of a direct approach. First, I guess, was the substitution of all three of those planned ahead of time, or was that more of a tactical change that you wanted to employ? And how did you feel that the shift in tactics kind of changed in terms of the way the game flowed?
I think every team presents different problems. I thought, after the injury to Barbara in the last game against Kansas, playing Marta and Lemos as 210s, we had a lot of success with that. So we felt going into this game, we would do the same, but the spaces just didn't present themselves tonight. There was a really compact shape for Angel City, so they didn't get on the ball as much. And to your further point, you said they were incorporating more of a higher press. So we felt we needed to have that threat in behind. So playing Priska as a 9 to keep their back line a little bit more honest would create more spaces for the likes of Ange, Marta, Haley, even Summer to get on the ball more. But again, in the second half, we didn't really create too many opportunities in the final third.
And we will wrap up with Tamara.
Hi, Seb. Can you talk a little bit about the mental recovery between the Kansas City game, not only dealing with Barbara's injury, but the delay itself and the mental toll that likely took on players into another road game, and sort of how the team has sort of been navigating that? And then separately, just a comment on Simone Jackson, such a young player in her rookie season, has really been somewhat quietly maybe making an impact. So just your thoughts on her.
Yeah, to answer your first question, it's incredibly difficult. With the delay of the game at Kansas and then not playing till late. I think Angel City played before us as well, so they had that additional day of rest, and then being on the road, not being able to go home, and it's a quick turnaround. And that's why we tried to be flexible with the rotation and the team selection. This league is tough. The parity in the league, you can see it by the standings of where everyone's placed themselves. And then, the competition with Kansas and then coming to Angel City, who are two very physical teams, very athletic teams, was obviously a challenge for us tonight. But these are the, somewhat consequences of winning as well, everything that we achieved last year. There's an expectation that we come to every environment and want to win and looking to win. So yeah, it's tough, but it is what it is. And then with Simone Jackson, she's done well, and she's deserved an opportunity. We felt 45 minutes was enough for her today, especially when she's back home. She's from California. And we wanted to make a really big impact. And again, the opportunities didn't really present themselves for her tonight, but she can build on her first start in this league.
Great, thank you, Seb.